Ukraine's supporters condemn cynical Russian meeting at UN. Ukraine's allies have denounced a recent meeting between Russian and Ukrainian officials at the United Nations, describing it as cynical and an attempt by Russia to portray itself as a peacemaker while continuing to destabilize the region. The meeting, which took place on April 24, was the first between Russian and Ukrainian officials since the outbreak of conflict in eastern Ukraine in 2014. The talks were attended by the foreign ministers of both countries, as well as officials from the United States and the European Union. The discussions centered on the conflict in eastern Ukraine, which has resulted in the deaths of over 13,000 people since it began. The Ukrainian government has accused Russia of supporting separatist rebels in the region with weapons and troops, a charge that Russia denies. In a statement issued after the meeting, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called for a stable ceasefire in eastern Ukraine and for the implementation of the Minsk agreements, a set of peace agreements signed in 2015 that have so far failed to bring an end to the conflict. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba, however, criticized the meeting, saying that Russia was attempting to whitewash its aggression in eastern Ukraine. Kuleba also accused Russia of using the talks as a platform to spread propaganda and misinformation. Ukraine's allies, including the United States and the European Union, also criticized the meeting, with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken calling it cynical and saying that the United States stood with Ukraine in its efforts to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, expressed similar sentiments, saying that the meeting should not be seen as a normalization of relations between Russia and Ukraine. Any attempt to use this meeting as a platform for propaganda or disinformation must be rejected, Borrell said in a statement. The meeting comes amid a buildup of Russian troops near the Ukrainian border, raising fears of a new military escalation in the region. Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of planning an invasion, while Russia has said that it is conducting military exercises and has no intention of attacking Ukraine. The United States and European Union have expressed support for Ukraine and called on Russia to withdraw its troops from the border. In a joint statement on April 13, Blinken and EU Foreign Policy Chief Borrell called on Russia to cease its military buildup and to de-escalate tensions. The conflict in eastern Ukraine has been ongoing since 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and pro-Russian separatists declared independence in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions of eastern Ukraine. The conflict has resulted in the displacement of over 1.5 million people and has had a devastating impact on the region's economy and infrastructure. Despite multiple ceasefire agreements, the conflict has continued to simmer, with occasional outbreaks of violence. The Minsk agreements, which were signed in 2015 with the aim of bringing an end to the conflict, have so far failed to produce a lasting peace. The meeting between Russian and Ukrainian officials at the United Nations was a rare opportunity for dialogue between the two sides, but it remains to be seen whether it will lead to any significant progress in resolving the conflict in eastern Ukraine. With tensions high and the situation on the ground precarious, the coming weeks and months will be crucial in determining the fate of the region. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more international affairs videos.